To this week's episode of the Being Podcast, a safe space I have created for us to come together and discuss, to share with one another, to inspire, encourage, and motivate each other, and tweak if we need how we believe, how we engage, innovate, navigate, and gain across all areas of our lives. I am your girl, Jada, your host of the Being Podcast, and welcome to all of you who are either watching on my YouTube channel or listening either through Spotify or Apple. Welcome if you have been here with me on this journey, and welcome to you if you are brand new and somehow someone shared this with you. And if you did, thank you. Or if you just happen to, come across me, everyone is welcomed here. So, I am not going to spend much time with you today, only because I know we are still in, kind of the celebrations and getting ready for the end of school years, getting ready for summer. And so I still wanted to come and say hello and show my face if you're watching, and to just give you a little bit of encouragement, some inspiration, some motivation somewhere in there that hopefully you can take a nugget or two, apply it to your life, and get after your dreams and your goals, because if you don't do it, who gonna do it? So with that, I just want to kind of talk about real briefly about you taking care of you. This has been big for me this season, because I have just learned that things aren't going to necessarily just happen for me as a wife, a mom, an employee, a friend, a sister, like all of those things. It's not going to happen just because, one, I want them to, I desire for them to, because I've done something for them, then they're going to do something for me. And we shouldn't give like that, right? Because if we are giving, truly giving to other people, it should be because we are trying to bless them. We are trying to make them better in some way, trying to brighten their day or take a load off of them, or whatever it is that you're reaching out to help somebody. It shouldn't be because you're expecting them to do something for you, right? So there is that. But in that, I think that it is imperative that as busy women, and that whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you are, an employee somewhere doing a 9 to 5 or whatever that looks like, if you're a mom, a stay-at-home mom, just any of those different types of women that or categories that we women may fall into, that we have to take care of ourselves. And if you're anything like me, my big girl is out of school, the babies are still in daycare, which is fine. But now I feel like there's even more for me to have to do, right? Because when they're in school, they're with their friends or their teachers doing all the things, and we get them back in the evenings and we're spending time with them and getting them off to bed, and then we're doing it again. But the summertime is different, spring breaks, and now these fall breaks. I didn't have a fall break. I must be really old. But anyway, when they have these breaks, I think it just requires more because they are around us more. So with that comes an added, okay, here's something else that I have to do or get the opportunity to do, however you want to look at that. But it doesn't negate, your duties for work or your duties, and I say duties because I'm military, but your responsibilities, whatever word you want to use, it doesn't negate that for your home or for your relationship with your spouse. It doesn't negate your relationship with your friends, and your family. So it's like, it's just something else that is added on, someone else who is needing more of you, right? Because they're there. So with all of that, as we're preparing for that, because I'm really big in that too. If we're able to prepare, then we're able to be in more control. We get a little bit of that power back instead of playing whack-a-mole, which unfortunately, if you're like me also, we do that a lot, right? We're just taking care of things as they pop up. But with all of that being said, you have to make time for yourself. You have to. I mean, because at the end of the day, at the beginning of the day, during the day, people are relying on you. And I just need for you to understand that you are so incredibly important, that what you do, what you provide, as I talked about, the invisible labor that I read about, all of the things that we do and how we show up for everybody, it takes a toll. So you have to make time for yourself. Last week I had been saying to some friends and to my husband, like, ooh, I want to get back into the 5 o'clock club, right? The 5 a.m. club or whatever it's called. But basically, where I desire to get up early so that I could get my workout done. Why? One, it's going to set the tone for my day. Two, and I can attest to this, like throughout the day, I'm like, ooh, I'm so glad I got that over with, because by the time I've worked and taken care of the kids and get them all settled, that's probably the last thing that I am personally going to want to do. But I know how important my workout has become for me, right? Because it's not only for my body, and I joke with people that I want to be a MILF, which I'm a Christian, so I shouldn't be saying that. But I do. I want to be in the best shape for myself, because there is something when people look at you like, oh, yeah, you still got it, right? Not that we need that validation, but it is nice to have. We're not going to lie. We are honest here. We are transparent here. And that is the real deal for Jada. So it's nice to just be able to work on my physical body. It is nice to have that time to get the mental junk out, right? Because I am getting to focus on learning something new in the program, or doing more weight or doing more reps. It's just been something that has personally encouraged me, so it's something now that has to be built in my day. And I typically just work out Monday through Friday. And now, like I said, I started doing 5 o'clock workouts. Well, between 5:15. They're done before 6, right? So by that time, by the time I get in the house, my girl twin is usually the first one up out of the kids. And so I get in, my workout is done, she's ready to go, and boom, we are clicking on all cylinders over here and getting ready for daycare, getting ready for school. And it's just helped our process. So that for me, it's time built in for Jada. It is time for me to start my day, to be able to not only check that off my list, because y'all know I love a things to do list, but to just get my blood pumping and to move my body and start my steps and start my water intake and just do something for me. That quiet, like coming out and like hearing the birds, right? I'm up with the birds and seeing the sun come up. It has been truly, it's been a transformation for me, and it's only been a week. And so if there is something that you've been wanting to do, that you've been putting off, I just encourage you, just start small. Like, I mean, if you want to do 5 o'clock, maybe you start with one day that isn't going to be taxing the rest of the day, so that as your body is adjusting, you build in that cushion to be able to catch you, right, as you're building up. But as I always say, we have to take those small steps to lead to the big change, to lead to our goals and our dreams being realized. And so I am just saying, as we are being proactive, as we are looking ahead, it was funny because I sent home some worksheets for Olivia, just to kind of keep her going during the summer. So not like, I guess kind of homework, but just kind of keep her mind going. And so there's 8 weeks. So I'm like, okay, cool. So it kind of put in my mind, I have 8 weeks that I have to make sure that I have her engaged in things, and I have a schedule for her structured a little bit, even though it is summertime. But that's allowing me to start planning now, so I'm not running around frazzled and crazy, right? So I am just saying that and sharing that with you, to start looking at the next 4 weeks. Maybe it is the next 2 months, or like my program, I have a 90-day program. Sometimes it's good to just take a quarter and see the things that you can implement, the things that you can change a little bit, and then you can do a quick tweak on it if you need to. But it allows you to have more control, more power. And in doing that, you're able to build in time for yourself. So whether you're waking up like me, getting that workout in, maybe it is, okay, I'm going to schedule to have half of the afternoon off on Friday. Put that time in, because people are going to be doing their vacation. So maybe now you look at the calendar and you go ahead and you schedule that. And so your boss and your team, they will know that you're not going to be available on every other Friday, or whatever feels good for you and works with your schedule, and that you have that time built up. And take that time and say, hey, during this, I'm going to lay on my couch and do nothing, or I'm going to go get a massage, or I'm going to go, just whatever that looks like for you. I'm going to go treat myself to lunch and a movie. But do something for you, because the summers, especially if you have little ones, we're going to be super busy. I mean, the school years are already crazy, but summer, building in vacation and building in camps and doing all of those things. So don't you, my dear friend, don't you get lost in the sauce of everything and everybody else because they depend on you. I often say that we are the glue. We are the drummers that everybody is marching to. I remember my husband even saying, like, babe, when you're good, the house is good. Like he can tell, how things are going based off of how I'm dealing with things. And I can tell you that in my coaching program, the things that I teach my clients are the same things that I implement for myself. And by being able to have more control, to have more structure, to have more predictability, and maybe that's just my type A personality coming through, but to have more predictability and having more structure and having those systems and the routines, it just allows for things to flow that much better. And then you can, hear me, you can make and take time for yourself, because I've been there where you've been. If this is you, oh my gosh, there's not enough hours in the day and I'm so tired and I have to do this and I have to go here. And while all of that is true, my friend, I promise you, if you can find a way to block out your day, block out your week, build your community, and find your voice, which are all the things I teach in my program, I can promise you, you will get everything done that you need to get done, and in a way that is going to feel natural for you, that's going to feel good for you, in a way that is not going to make you feel guilty, because that too is huge for us as women, period. But definitely if you're working and doing your, you know, if you have a side hustle, or if you have children or parents or all those things, we tend to feel guilty when we make and take time for ourselves. And I'm here to say that is not what we're doing anymore. So take this time as we are getting ready for summer to make sure that you, and if you're watching, I'm pointing, and if you're listening, I'm pointing, and I'm pointing to you. Make sure that you make and take time for yourself, because again, once our cups are filled, we are able to water everybody else because they need it and they want it and they're going to demand it and all of the things, right? But I need for you to be clicking on all cylinders. So I'm still in celebration mode. We are getting ready to actually go watch Olivia in her first pageant. So I will let y'all know next week how all of that goes. But we are super excited to just celebrate her. And then, oh, one quick thing. And if anybody has any tips, please let me know and share with the audience. I am actually putting our baby girl into dance. So I'm just super excited about that, because even though Olivia's been doing her stuff for years now, it's almost like I'm starting over in that. And so I'm trying to just build them up and to encourage them and to start teaching them some of these foundational things that I am sharing with you all, because that is what we need, so that we are all living in our true authentic selves and our most honest selves in the way that we want to, and the ways that we envision, instead of the ways that society or family or anybody else is trying to put on us. So don't be in that box. Go find you some ways to take care of yourself over these next 8 weeks. And I will see y'all soon. Take care. As always, thank you, thank you, thank you for tuning in and just encouraging and inspiring and motivating me, because you do every single week. All right, y'all. Take care. See you soon.